How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a cool way to add a lot of money to the things you're already doing. This money making method is something that you don't have to do really anything extra for. It'll just add extra money to the things that you were doing before. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. The best money-making methods are the ones that don't take any effort, like the ones that you can just kind of do without paying much attention or while you're doing other things. Because obviously, if you're really paying attention and really working for it, then it's a lot harder. In this money-making method, it is actually very simple, and a lot of people are unaware that this actually earns money. For the longest time, I wasn't aware this actually earns money, but I did a little bit of digging, and let's see what I found. So taking a quick look at the Runescape wiki, it turns out that collecting memory shards is actually a viable money-making method. So this right here is assuming that you are getting 600 memory shards per hour, although it says right here that it is possible to get as low as 400 and as high as 800. So the 600 is more of an average. So you potentially could make more than this 722k per hour, but sometimes you might make a little bit less. But the thing is, though, you won't really be paying attention to making these memory shards, so that's the great part. This is just added on money to doing what you're already doing. So if you look right here, when you're doing pickpocketing, hunter traps, or planting seeds, you have a chance of getting the memory shards. Most people would do exactly what it says right here, which is turning them into porters, or they would just throw them in the bank and then completely forget they even have memory shards, like I did. But it turns out that if you were to convert them into sellable things rather than making them into portents, like porters, then it is actually much more money, because the money that you would get from turning them into porters, as you see right here, would cost you an average of they would be worth an average of 977.9 each. But as you can see right here on this chart, this little table here, not a chart, it's actually a table. This shows you right here that the price per shard is dramatically higher on most of these things if you're not making porters. So if you still want to get porters out of these, you totally can. I would just recommend, like this guide says, to make them into other things first and then maybe spend that money on the porters. So I went through and checked a few of the things in this list to see how much they were actually going for and not just what the GE price says, because you know how it is. Sometimes things are higher or lower. It says right here, the Sign of Respite is going to give you a 1646 shards, like 1646 gold per shard with a profit of 987.6 per hour. Now that per hour profit is based on collecting them. It's not creating them. And I'll show you what that means here in just a second, because it only takes one shard to create this. If you were to create something that takes more shards, like 10 with the Portent of Degradation 3, this will give you 1529 per shard and a profit of 917k per hour on average. So I don't like taking the Runescape Wiki's word for it when it tells you how much profit you're going to make per hour without testing, because there's a lot of factors that can be changed here, depending on what's actually going on in the Grand Exchange. The biggest thing here is that the items you're able to make with these might be a different price than what the Grand Exchange average shows. As you can see right here, the Portent of Degradation, which they showed 15,293 based on the current market value. I instantly bought one at 16,057, and also going by this number right here, I could tell that you could even sell these for more if you sell them slowly. So you are looking to get more than the price it shows. You're looking to get 16k or higher if you were to make these. And due to the fact that you make 10, due to the fact this takes 10 shards to make one, rather than doing the much slower method of one shard to make the other one, then this is probably going to be better than the Respite. I also tested the Respite prices, and pretty often they were below the GE mid. Although I was able to sell some at GE mid, it seems like the demand for those is lower. So I would all around, I would recommend making these Portent of Degradations. Now, in order to make these, you just need to click on your memory shards right here, and then it will give you a full list of everything you could make. Now let me show you what I mean by the degradation is better, even though sometimes it might be less money than the respite. The reason why is because if you click on respite here, you see you can make 26 of these in one stack. It takes one shard at a time. This is not an instant click, so once you click on the weave, it will slowly make these. It's not too slow, but it definitely takes some time. So when you're able to do like the portent of degradation, this will use up 10 of your shards at a time, making the same amount in the same amount of time. So essentially you will go through 10 times as many of your shards that you would if you were making the sign of respite. So basically, even though these will give you a slight bit more money sometimes, this is going to be more efficient because you'll be able to make these a lot quicker. So like for example, if you had a pretty big stack of memory shards, like I have a decent sized stack right here, it would take considerably longer for me to make these respites. I'd rather be done quicker for slightly less money and then be able to move on to making more money doing something else. So portent and degradation, according to the current prices, that's what I would choose. If you're going to be cashing out your memory shards though, then I would highly recommend that you do test all the prices of the different things you can make. That way you can see what the best thing is at the time. So going by the prices of everything I just showed you, my little stack of memory shards of about almost 64,000 shards is worth a little over 100 million gold if I convert them to the most profitable thing. That is pretty awesome to find in your bank, and if you have a bunch of memory shards, then congrats, you just found yourself a lot of money. Now, if you're wondering how you get memory shards and how you do that consistent money-making method I just mentioned, you just need to go to the Guthix Memorial. You can get there by right-clicking on the memory strand. That's probably the easiest way to get here. And then once you are here, you can go to the direct fountain of energy. The strands will actually send you directly to the fountain, so you don't have to walk at all. And then click on the direct fountain of energy. Now the decree of mortality is the one that will add it so you're able to get your shards by your memory shards by doing hunter. The guardian of life will make it so you get them while doing farming. And then if you go over here to whatever this is called, the sempiternal souvenirs, then you will be able to get it while doing pickpocketing. So if you just want to be able to passively get them from all three, then just make sure all three of these things are checked, and then you'll be able to get them from those methods. Now, there are certain things that are going to give you more money than other ones. What I would highly recommend is that you just go ahead and activate all three of these. That way you'll just get them while playing the game. Because if you are going to specifically grind just for the memory shards, they really only give you about 700k gold per hour, which is not really worth like, you know, directly grinding for. But if you are already doing things, that will add a significant amount of money to what you were already doing. Doing something for 10 hours basically will give you over 7 million gold. Doing them for 100 hours will give you 70 million gold. So as you can see, if you were planning to go to 200 million thieving or 120 thieving or something like that, on thieving alone you would gain a lot of money. We're talking about hundreds of millions. And the same thing with farming. If you're going to be doing a whole bunch of herb runs, this is going to be adding up quite a bit with there. And then hunter, once again, if you're going to be doing a lot of trapping, this is going to give you a lot of money as well. With all three of these checked right here, I mean, realistically, if you were going to get 200 millions in all three of those skills, you could expect to get something around 1 billion gold from doing the memory shards, potentially more. It just really depends on how many you get, how long it takes you, which methods you use, stuff like that. So just passively adding potentially 1 billion plus gold to your bank is actually pretty sweet. So I would highly recommend that you activate these as soon as possible. That way you can just start collecting them. And then whenever you want to, just click them and start making these things. So anyway, guys, I really hope this money making method is going to help you out. This is probably one of the easiest ways to add a significant amount of money to your wealth without doing anything. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to, feel free to check out our Discord down below. We have 10,000 members and would love to have you in there. If you want to start earning an average of 3 to 10 billion plus per month, then you can go ahead and check out the Patreon content and support the channel. Your support makes it so I can continue making these money-making methods and other videos for you. We also have a sale going on right now, which is going to be ending very soon. So if you want to jump in while we're updating our tiers, we're going to be doing party hats and rares and everything in the flipping sections as well. They're extremely profitable, obviously, flipping them. So if you have the money to do those, you can check out our highest tiers. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.